Hey guys, my name is Andrew Gray here with Elias in the Man Cave. Please check out nightowlstudio.com. That is Night Owl Studio with a K.com. Looking forward to being on chatting with you guys next time.
Andrew, welcome to the cave.
Thank you for having me. This
We've
is
been
exciting
working.
to be here.
We've been working on this for the past couple of days now to try to get you on, and here we are. You know, the listeners, the viewers that are tuning in, man, they got to know who you are, man. You've had a busy life, busy career.
Well, I got to ask you a question. Well, thank you so much for that wonderful intro. Thank you for having me. Exciting to have some fun on here. Connect one-on-one, human to human. What is your background? As you can see, I'm sitting in my car right now.
Right.
Because where I'm living, there's pretty much no reception, no Wi-Fi. So I'm outside of a McDonald's getting my Wi-Fi. Where are you sitting?
I am in my basement. That's why I
Okay.
call it the cave for the listeners, the viewers, you know, and this is the virtual background that I have of a brick wall right now.
All right.
There we go. And I am from Massachusetts at the moment. Where are you?
I'm in Northern California near Lake Tahoe.
All
So
right.
kind of, Lake Tahoe area.
Yeah. So I mentioned earlier, you've been busy, you know, everybody knows you from the Power Rangers. You've Bling Empire. You had a short. You're public speaking. What's left, man? What's on that bucket list for you?
I think the natural evolution is continue to create original content. So I created a website, aka a streaming service called nightowlstudio.com. It's in its beta right now. We're going to do a soft launch on my birthday, which is next month, February 4th. And we're going to be doing some releases of feature films, short films, music videos, and art NFTs on the site. So the site is, think of Amazon, where you can stream and buy commodities, products, etc., meets PBS, public broadcast station, right? Where you had all those wonderful shows like Arthur, Reading Rainbow, Sesame Street, a lot of personal development stuff and a lot of cultural style shows and a lot of shows of inspiration. So I built that website. It's taken about a year and a half. And over the past 3 years, I've been shooting and filming, producing, writing, and acting in my own productions and getting a wonderful cast, crews put together, getting this stuff streamed out and distributed in other sites. But now that those the exclusivities are done, now I'm putting them all back on to Night Owl Studio. So it's been a lot, and I've been really enjoying the growing process, the learning curve, having vision and being able to lead a team to build it, and give me motive every day.
Yeah, you mentioned team now. Like, how many people you have working with you on this?
Right now, it's a smaller team. It's under 6 people, but they're nonstop working, man. They just put their juggernaut hats on, and we just get in there. We just create a strategy, and we get going.
That's awesome. So let's start a little bit from the beginning, man. Like, how did you decide to get into this industry, the entertainment world?
It really wasn't a decision. It was just something innately that I felt I was born for, which was not it. And then I got into it, and I did a lot of soul searching, failing, and like, what is my intent here? What is my mission? And then once I really just stood firm on nobility and wanting and needing to play characters that would change me in a way that would help and lead other people to their highest, truest self, a brighter horizon, taking themselves out of some kind of darkness. That's really when I started developing my career and my sense of self as an actor, moving forward in it. Yeah.
How old were you when you said, okay, I'm going for it?
18 years old.
Wow. So you just
18 years old.
Any backup plans just in case it wasn't going to work out for you? Like, do you have any other or if acting doesn't work, you can go behind the scenes? I mean, because now you're doing a little bit of everything.
Well, I feel like you have to do a little bit of everything to be successful and to be happy and to know what you love to do and what you don't like to do and what you can delegate. I'm a firm believer in delegation. I at 18, I grew up from a very traumatic background and from a broken home. So actually, when I was in kindergarten, my parents were divorcing, and I just got so much enjoyment by mimicking their favorite characters. If it was from comedy, like Jim Carrey, Robin Williams, to like Denzel Washington. My dad's a big fan, which I'm a huge fan of. And through that mimicry, we brought them together. And then I was like, you know what? I see the purpose in this. It brings people together. It takes them away from their lives, their fears, their pains, their worries, their doubts. So as 18, that's when I traveled to New York, and I entered a competition, little thing in Times Square. It was like 2,500 other guys. We did a monologue competition. I ended up winning that, and I somehow got stuck into modeling because there was also a modeling runway there, and the people were like, "Dude, might as well do both. You're a good looking guy. Might as well do both." So I did both, and I ended up winning some award. Can't really remember what it is, but it got me signed to agencies around the world, and that actually was where I started traveling. So going kind of, going back to where the inception of your question was, I try to hit the target from many different ways. Acting is just one way. So, and you're at the mercy of the casting director, producer gods.
Right.
And knowing now, and I've known now for over 10 years, but it's not the best actor gets the job. It's just who can bring the most value, because it's a business. We're not in the golden era of cinema anymore where you had directors who are running the studios and the artists and the creatives. It's all suits, it's attorneys, it's businessmen, and they want to get a return on their investment. Hence why we see nonstop Marvel films, comic films, which I also think are fun. But there's a lot of different messaging in there that I don't agree with. But again, it's a machine. So for me, I'm not trying to battle to fight my way into a machine or prove anything to anybody. It's about not having to prove myself anymore and just knowing who I am and what I want to create. Kind of like Clint Eastwood. He says, I like to create films that I want to watch. And for me, my core is still as a protagonist. It's still as, I guess, being a hero in my own life. So I like to create stories that are of conflicted characters that find their way to peace. They find their way to harmony. They find their way into leadership positions or being a pillar and finding privilege in that. So Night Owl Studio is a place where not only can you get original content from me, but also, do it yourself. It's like, I believe health is wealth. So we're creating a series on there where we're doing a therapy series. It's kind of like a podcast setting. We're going to have therapists come in. Then we're going to have another area in there where it's just talking about, health that we're feeding ourselves, that we're consuming, from pressed juice recipes to cooking recipes to smoothing recipes, keeping it very, very simple, meals that you can make under 3 minutes, simple stuff like that, brain food stuff. We're also working in this space to try to get brand endorsements with like companies like Audible. I'm a huge believer in education and reading and sharing that. So to have brand endorsements like that, where we can get other books, other professionals, other like-minded birds of a feather on there to target the demographic that we have on this website. My demographic, just from the analytics, is usually from 8 to 35. And 60% of them are male. And I know that 8 to 35 is a huge growing spurt for men in general. Like, what is our place in high school? What is our place then in college? Because that's a big shift. And then what is our place after we graduated college, or we didn't decide to go to college, but we want to know entrepreneurial aspects. You can find all that stuff and so much more on nightowlstudio.com as it continues to develop. So I hope that that was a lot, but that's what I've been
awesome,
that was my inception in acting. That's why I'm still moving forward with it. So passionate, because I'm on this mission.
You beat me too, because I was gonna say it takes passion and like just grinding away. Like we mentioned before we got on the air, like we're always want to do things better and better and like just keep on grinding away.
We just compete with ourselves. We're not competing with anybody else.
Yeah.
Once I truly let go and accepted that I don't need to have anybody understand me. I just need to understand myself, and I don't have to do anything either. I get to do it. So it's blue skies, and it's brought in that this whole process, a lot of enjoyment, and allows me to put a lot of creativity and love and to play into it and explore new avenues. So that's been great. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your time during Power Rangers, but you were on there for like almost 14 years, right?
No, I shot 42 episodes with them.
Yeah.
I shot a bunch of episodes. We shot 2 movies for television. And I traveled the world promoting their brand and learned a lot about the industry because of Power Rangers, you know. And I am so grateful for the opportunity to be a part of their story, their legacy, to already have a built-in fan group,
Mm.
you know, who's also very not only loyal to the brand, but has a set idea of the way they believe it should be, just like most people do. So it's fun to always engage, debate, interact with them. Um, so it's been a big blessing. They've had us travel out around the world. I learned a lot from about Power Rangers, which actually, after meeting Haim Saban, that's pretty much when I got the inception of I know what I want to do moving forward. You know, create my own destiny.
Right.
Um,
And I can see it like how like that project can help you now in the future. Also, like I mentioned earlier about like the public speaking and everything too, and like maybe like talking about bullying or whatever in the schools or like other things that you want to like feed kids or even feed the adults with.
that's why I find that the truest blessing came, if it came through Power Rangers, if it came through an alignment, through a higher power or whatever, that gave me the platform and the position.
Mm.
Because previous to being a professional actor, um, I was a preschool teacher for a summer, but I was working with my mother who's in education. So I've been around teachers, professors my whole life, educators, mentors, coaches, public speakers. And that's what my innate calling, I believe was to share a message. So I thought it was through acting. But then again, with Power Rangers, again, a higher power. How did I get that alignment to then have that platform to talk to millions of kids? So I went and I created a public speaking program called Beyond the Cameras that went over why am I doing what I'm doing, right? We need to start with our why. What's our intent? What's our mission? What's our desire? And what's our vision? And then I go over 6 different simple rules of success, you know, starting with giving back um, and ending with giving back. And then I like to conquer fears with the children there so they can know how powerful they truly are and how much stronger they are than they believe. I guess one and the same. And we usually start that off with we're going to do 2 things today. We're going to bring you up and you guys are going to do your own public speaking today because the 2 biggest fears are public speaking and death. We're going to conquer one of those today. And I guarantee nobody's going to die here, you know? So that's been a wonderful process, and I'm going to be kicking that up again in this next in this year. I was going to say it's next year, but we're already here in this year, 2022. Signing with new management, new agents all across the board, starting fresh. After last year, I was on a television show called Bling Empire, which was one of the um, best and worst opportunities, disappointments, betrayals, deceits, and also growth periods of my life. 6 years ago, I pitched that show to a friend of mine who we've come to both an agreement that we weren't friends. We were just friendly acquaintances. Fair enough. I was a young buck and with a dream, just like I still have, you know, but now in place. But pitched him something, and he went with it. Um, it was actually in the inception. Whole idea was from my ex. She couldn't get it in to be taken serious at the time, just because I think cultural things with Native Americans, Asians, African Americans, whatever. It just wasn't uh, the tipping point yet. It wasn't what it is now.
Yeah.
So nobody wanted to watch it. We brought it to VH1, the Jersey Shore people, so many. And they were like, seems like a cool idea, you know, like Crazy Rich Asians, but there was no Crazy Rich Asians book yet. That book hasn't came out. So anyway, we shopped it for 3 years, nothing happened. I was able to, over a 10-year friendship, mind you, my buddy's the guy behind the Kardashians and Simple Life of Paris Hilton, Mariah's World, all these amazing shows that got a lot of controversy,
Yeah.
a lot of acclaim. So I was like, he's the person to do it. And he, you know, he was like, you know what? We've known each other 10 years. When you got something, let's see what you got. So I pitched it. We ran with it. I thought I was going to be an executive producer on the show. I didn't want to be in the show.
Yeah.
My ex didn't want to be in the show. She wanted to be executive producer, but that didn't happen. I got cut from an executive producer. I didn't get my associates. My ex got it. And then it just got spun where I became this perpetrator. So it's been, again, you got to roll with the punches, guys.
Yeah.
You
That's
want to
right.
learn how the industry works? Well, you just learned. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity of growth, and I just let everybody know you can be the nice guy and still, have a voice and a platform, because they want me to come back on the show, but so to know your value is what I'm saying to everybody. Things like this happen, protect yourself, put trust in, give it your all, be authentic. But you don't have to continue on with that, because again, it's not about getting people to understand you or how they presented you and then you describe, oh, this and that. No, it's about understanding yourself. And like I did, I dropped the bling. It's called Bling Empire. I walked away. They're like, can you come back? Can you come back? We need you. They have me go to their house, sit down, and like, here's the deal. We shot the whole thing. Netflix, they're gonna can this thing unless you're on the show. There was so much viewing on me from Bling Empire. I was viewed, I believe, 80 million times a week, which
Wow.
made me number 6 on IMDb for like 2 months. Isn't that crazy?
Jeez.
I was above Tom Hanks, Tom Hardy, Tom Holland, all of them. I was like, this is nuts. But what that brought was a lot of people disgruntled, not understanding what they see in Rangers, what they see in public speaking, what they see me doing on other television shows or series, or all my humanitarian acts. I've worked with Run to Feed the Hungry, the Children's Hospital, Make a Wish Foundation. Um, I'm working with Big Brothers Big Sisters right now. It starts with one today. I mean, dozens of charities around the world, and then they saw something that was manufactured. It was really hard to take.
Mm.
But moving forward, thank you guys for all the opportunity, because it's given me this nuclear love energy jet fuel to
Makes you more
create what I
hungry.
just, oh my goodness, man.
That's
So
right.
thank you guys for igniting that flame. And I'm going to continue to pray for all of them, but you know, things happen.
Mm.
But with that, I do want to just like recognize if anybody's going through something, you, to just keep, going through go through it, because it's gonna go by. And I like to also remind them of the kind of like the Chinese proverb I'm about to mess up, of the story of maybe.
Mm.
Have you already heard the story of maybe?
I've never heard of this one.
All right, I'm gonna mess it up anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's basically like this Chinese farmer, right? They go, all the townspeople go and they're like, "Whoa, you just got all this land gifted to you. You're gonna be rich." And he was like, "Maybe." And they're like, "Whoa, you got like all this like seed that was in there when it rained. All this wheat came up. You're gonna be rich." He was like, "Maybe. It also could be weeds." And then he got gifted these horses, and then they're all like, "Whoa, you're gonna be even more wealthy because you got gifted horses to plow and then to get all the wheat up and to bale it for you." And he was like, "Maybe. That's if I get up every single day and I move the horses forward, and the sun doesn't scorch the earth and burn it all down." So it's all that maybe. It's what you're gonna do with it. Maybe it's going to happen, maybe it's not. So it's not about knowing or trying to guess what the future is, but again, I got that nuclear motivation fuel right now to move things forward. And I know that's possible, but the maybe is if you just sit and let things ponder and, let the environment kind of push on you instead of you expanding the environment. So that's kind of like the story of maybe.
It's like you wake up tomorrow, it's another day. You just got to keep on rolling with the punches.
Rolling with the punches, but I think really having an intent and sticking to having a mission and a
Mm.
strategy and a plan, and then create synergy, then expand on the plan, reevaluate the plan, reevaluate the why. Was it an emotion that burned off, or is it purely just logic, or there is no emotion and we're doing what we do, and when are we hit our targets, it's nothing personal, it's just business. So there's just How are we going to go about this? How are we going to move, and who are we going to be in the process? That's what that I tell myself all the time when I'm praying is, through whatever happens, who are we going to be in this process? You know?
Yeah, I get it. So now
It's
what's next for you now? Like, I know I mentioned like the public speaking and the studio projects and everything, but is there any other like things that you got coming up that you can tell us about?
I'm producing right now a scripted series. I'm
Okay.
producing an animation, a 2D animation.
Oh, that's awesome.
That we're getting funding for right now. It's really, really cool, and it's exciting. And then I'm also I just signed with new management, new agents across the board, fresh everything, and I'm just gonna move on my strategy. I wish I could tell you my black book of plays right
Right,
now,
right.
but it's
You don't
producing.
don't.
No, it's don't. Even though I firmly believe in this, even if you give people some of your ideas, not everybody's gonna know how to act on them. The
Mm,
part is when you have a relationship with somebody that you trust, like your brother,
mm.
and they do know how to act on your ideas, and they do take them, and they do make them, and they do cut you out, and you're watching everybody buy $2 and $7 million houses off of it. That's a lot.
Definitely is. Definitely is. Now, how can the viewers and listeners find you online, and how can they find out about your tour? Because you mentioned you got a few dates coming up for your public
Yeah,
speaking.
yeah.
Tell us
Well,
about that.
obviously, you guys can go on my social media, which is just Instagram. I use the most, I would say. That's Andrew Gray, Gray. You can go onto TikTok, that I'm on there, which is also Andrew Gray, but underscore. Somebody got it. Dang it. Who are you, man? uh, you can go on Twitter. I'm on there, Andrew Gray as well. And if you want to check out nightowlstudio.com, February 4th, I'm going to be creating the marketing material actually today. That's part of my plan. But we're going to be doing a fun virtual event where we're going to be premiering feature films, short films, music video, and NFTs. It's going to be a fun little ball. It's going to be me kind of introducing the site, and also giving credit to everybody who's been involved thus far. Not only on the back end side, but in front of the camera. The people who were acting in these films that are amazing. So we have one of the films is Spilt Milk. It's the one that I actually talked to Marcos about. I had it distributed on this platform called shortstv.com that was owned by AMC. Went out to 7 million people, and it was out there for 6 months. Our contract is up with them. So now I'm putting it onto the site. So for everybody else who has not seen it, which is the vast majority, we're going to be selling tickets on there for this virtual event and giving proceeds to two different nonprofits. One, the Big Brothers Big Sisters of Los Angeles, and the other one's going to be It Starts With One Today, which is the nonprofit that I go out on Sundays, and we feed, clothe, love on, educate, inspire, motivate, and also are inspired by, in Skid Row, so many wonderful people that go there. And a really quick story about that, of how generous people truly are, and this is why I love people so much. So my first Sunday out, all the food was from Whole Foods, Trader Joe's. It was delicious. I mean, they really gave them a wonderful spread, prepackaged food, sandwiches. You know how that goes. And
Yeah.
I was blown away by that, to be honest. I was like, oh wow, this is great. So the line goes. There's about 500-600 people in line. The first person goes up and goes, I'm like, how you doing? God bless you. Happy Sunday to you. What can we get you? And she's like, is there like half sandwiches around here? I don't need a whole one. There's plenty of people over here, and I just need a half of sandwich. And I'm
Wow.
like, wow. Hand to God in that moment. I was like, whoa, God, I know for sure if I was just with my homies and we're walking by and they're like, oh, we're giving away free Trader Joe's sandwiches and stuff like that. Yeah, I would have waited in the line. It would have been cool. But I would have grabbed a whole sandwich.
Right.
Not even thinking. I would have grabbed, I'm like, you guys got juices and apples too? Let's make it a whole meal out of it. But no, that's not how they think. So, a lot of people are just without, and also choose to be with completely out. And they just want to take what they need and give what they don't. And it's It's so damn inspiring.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you thought about writing a book, man? Because you got some great stories.
Actually, the series that I'm writing is called Grayscale. It's a
Okay.
hopefully I'd like to get it either on HBO or Fox. I'm talking to right now a director on Fox. He's an incredible guy. His name is Slick. He's been sending me a whole bunch of treatments and decks to kind of mimic
Okay.
the stuff that he's already doing, so that when I present it and he can present it to Fox, it's like, hook, line, and sinker. It's just very fluid. So yeah, a lot of the stuff that's happened in my life that I've gone through, all blessings, are going to be in the show. And um, yeah, it's going to be juicy.
It's awesome. Andrew, man, thank you for joining me, taking your time today. I loved every minute of it. And let's get you back on.
Oh man, let's do that. I really appreciate the space. I love the man cave. And I just want to say, congratulations to putting your time into making something like this for
Thank you.
people to enjoy, outside of being a father, outside of being a husband, outside of being an entrepreneur. You're still doing this. So I hope everyone
Thank you.
knows that about you. And
Thank you. And we got
nothing
to
but
thank
love.
Marco for this interview also.
Yes, Marco the man. We love you, Marco. We truly do. We were talking nothing but good things about you right before this. So we'll be talking to you soon, mate.
All right.